Oh, put this down. See how this works. See if this angle's good. I feel slightly tilted. Try it for a little while. Maybe you can't tell my phone is tilted a couple degrees to the left or right or something. Hello, Ellie Cushman. Hello, Orca. Hello, Joey and Terry Durrell. Bud Leba Grossman. Oh. I'm really just waking up. Hello, Crocman. I wonder if Crocman is into reptiles or sandals. Hello, Don and John. Hey, that rhymes. Don and John. I don't know if I can do this. Am I tilted? Can you tell I'm tilted? Yeah, I don't know if I can do this right here. I'll show you where I'm at. I'm in downtown Naperville, and I'm right by a fountain that's currently off. It's got leaves in the water. It's got pennies. Remember as a little kid, I didn't even think it was wrong. There was a shopping center by kind of near where I grew up. And when I was a little kid, I would go in and grab my hand and take some pennies. Maybe it's when I saw that they were old ones and I was a penny collector. And they were the real old kind. Maybe that's when I was. I don't think it was just outright thievery. I mean, still not right. But maybe there was a reason for my thievery. I'm going to go down by the river. I'm holding. You should see what I do for the cause. Look at the pretty sunrise behind me. I woke up this morning. I looked out my window to the east, and there was a beautiful reddish-orange sunrise coming up. It's dimmed a little bit, but it was just beautiful. It was a great way to wake up, put my my mind in a good frame. First thing, give me a good excuse to thank God for the day, for waking up, for the good night's sleep, for the warm cover, for the coffee I was going to be drinking soon, for the beautiful town I live in, for my 4 beautiful children, for all my friends and family that love and support me. So I was able to crank out some quick gratitude, scurry my butt. Where am I going to go exactly? I'm not sure. And like I talk about a lot, there's no final destination. I mean, there's kind of a destination. And I think there's a bunch of movies called The Final Destination, which were pretty creepy. But just because I picked this spot, which I'll show you, is kind of one of my favorite new spots in Naperville. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois. It is a town of about 145,000 people, about 35 miles west of Chicago. I'm across from the beautiful Hotel Indigo, along the DuPage River, which runs through my town. There's a covered bridge back there with flowers. A lot of, I don't know, do you call it seaweed if it's in a river? A lot of plant life in the river right now. Hey, Ryan, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate that. You are a life coach or guru. I like that. No, I stock shelves at Super Target. But I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Somebody asked if I was a life coach or a guru. I'm certainly not a life coach, but I am a guy that's been through a lot in life and had a lot of experiences, good, bad, and ugly. And I have an ability to tell a story or share my experiences in a way. Don't let me forget my wallet that I put haphazardly down by me. Share my experiences in a way that seems to resonate with an audience. And I enjoy doing it. And that's why I'm here today. So, hey, good morning, Mason. And good morning to you. Can I be the lead actor on the next Live Free or Die Hard movie? I'd be happy to. If the studios and the actors and the writers all get back together, and they, for some reason, the think that this guy who's never done any acting in his life other than as an extra in his 7th grade musical, The Sound of Music, should suddenly be the starring role in a major movie hit, I'd certainly step up and do my best. But if that doesn't happen, I'll just keep going on. Do I have a sweetheart? When you say a sweetheart, the first words that come to my mind are my 2 little babies I have. I went through a divorce earlier in the year, but we were blessed with 2 beautiful children. My 2.5-year-old boy and coming up on a year boy, and I have 2 older daughters too. So I'd say my kids are my sweetheart right now. So if I have a sweetheart, I have 4 of them, and they're my 4 kids, and they're my thing. So good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. This is a show I've been doing. Is it too dark? Is it too dark? No, it's fine. It's just dark when I have this screen over. This is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing my experiences and the ups and downs we have in life and kind of the adventure that is life. Excuse me. My feet are going to look huge because they're closer to the camera than I am. Who's this guy with giant feet on a live video? Ah! Change the show to guy with giant feet. I don't know. But anyway, as I was telling somebody by the pool yesterday, most people, you go on social media, it's 2 people looking good going to a concert, or, a husband and wife on a beach or something like that. And that's what social media is to most people. But life's not being on a beach or going to a concert. I mean, those are nice little snippets and little moments and little distractions. But life's everything that happens in the middle. And this show is about what happens in the middle. And, and it feels good for me. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in on this Friday morning. What day is it? The 7th, 8th? It's the 11th. Shout out to my friend Mary. It's her birthday today. I won't reveal her age, but I will say she's the same age as me, and I'm 55. You'll have to guess what age she is. Good friend of mine, and married to one of my best friends. I stood up in their wedding a long time ago, and we all went to college together. And I'm fortunate to have a lot of longtime friends that have kept watch over me and taken care of me and been kind to me and supported me and watched along in my crazy adventures while they chose different paths. And we all choose our own paths. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, it's not just a show about me talking. It's also a show. Hello, good morning, RJ. I did a video today and I mentioned your name. It is a show, good morning, Gary, about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. I've been going to a venti cup the last week or so because one of my friends said, hey, you drink too much coffee. And I promised him I'd get down to 4 cups a day. So I thought I'd go for bigger cups. But anyway, thank you. Anyway, it's a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee. And we had a lot of friends kind of just stopped talking to you over the years. We can get back to that, Mike. Let's have our coffee first. I'm excited to have my first sip. And my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It's a dark roast. It's with cream. Sometimes people ask if I ever get fancy coffees. RJ. Okay. Fancy coffees at Starbucks. And usually I think, I'm too cheap to spend $7 on a venti mocha unless I'm celebrating for some reason. And since I go once or twice a day to Starbucks, to spend $7 twice a day on a cup of coffee might get expensive. So I think it's frugal. My St. Andrews painting is very safe, Chad. It's not just the money, I realize, because I went to Starbucks the other morning, and I was bringing out my app, and it was my birthday, and it said, hey, happy birthday, your next beverage is on us. So I could have gotten anything in the world I wanted, and what I decided I wanted was a venti dark roast with cream. So, yeah. Josh was asking, how much cream do I put in my coffee? I don't know. I kind of like the surprise. I was at my ex-wife's home the other day and picking up my kids, and she was brewing up a pot of coffee for us. And she was like apologetic because she likes an exact amount of coffee, or scoops in her coffee, and there wasn't quite the right amount. And there wasn't quite the right amount. And I'm not an exact guy, if that makes sense. I kind of dump coffee from my bag into the strainer. When I cook a frozen pizza, I do it by feel. I don't preheat the oven, and I don't set the oven and for a time. And when I pour cream in my coffee, I certainly don't put an exact allocation of that. So I kind of like a little bit of surprise. So I don't have a regular amount. So when they're pouring the cream, they always ask me. And again, Starbucks used to have these little stands with honey and sugars and creams and milk and whatever. And you'd go to, and I kind of miss those days when you'd prepare your coffee the way you wanted it. Thank you, RJ. When you'd prepare the coffee the way you wanted it. But now, I don't know, I think it's from COVID reasons. Although I've talked to them and they said some people would take, I don't know, all their sugar. I would imagine it's still from COVID. Now they prepare the coffee behind the counter, and it's, I don't know, a little different. But anyway, I tell them to surprise me. I like a random amount. Makes life fun. Starbucks coffee is garbage. That's cool. Somebody thinks Starbucks coffee is garbage. I'm going to have another sip of this garbage then, and I think it's delicious. It's weird how, personally, some people take such things. Or even use negative words, you know. And it's okay, because everyone's going to be them. But it's interesting to me to have such a negative feeling about Starbucks coffee when one man so enjoys it, obviously. I mean, might not be for you. Might not be your favorite. But I don't think it's garbage. I think it's pretty good. Have you ever tried McDonald's coffee? How do you compare those? I think, yes, I've certainly tried McDonald's coffee. I think they've gotten better coffee since I used to drink their coffee more regularly. I used to go get fast food probably 3 times a week, which is gross. And hey, my street cleaner friend's back out there. Good thing I'm down here, further away from the street. Yeah, I used to drink it. I think they've upgraded their quality of coffee. And RJ says their coffee tends to be stale. Dunkin' for the win. Dunkin' does have a nice cup of coffee. There's no doubt about it. But I usually get Dunkin' Donuts when I'm on the road. I don't know why. And I went there, and I did actually a whole video about it the other day, or a couple weeks ago at least. They used to have these nice styrofoam big cups, and if you got an extra large coffee with cream, you could go on a drive and it'd still be hot 2 hours later when you were getting to your destination. Now they kind of use these cardboard paper cups, and I assume it's for the environment. I hope it's for the environment. As a guy that considers himself slightly right of center politically, I believe in the environment. I'd like things cleaner. I'd like less pollution, less fresh, cleaner air, cleaner water, and all those things. And it's amazing how much, I don't know, attention certain aspects of the environment got 4 years ago, and it seems like we've forgotten. And I don't want to piss anybody off, but tough crap if you're pissed off. There was all this talk of this big island of plastic in the Pacific Ocean floating around. And outside of me making fun of and bringing it up from time to time, Nobody's talking about an island of garbage in the Pacific anymore. But it was all over. It's going to eat up the ocean. There was going to be no ocean left. It was all going to be plastic. And I'll tell you what, we throw out more garbage than we've ever thrown out before. And Starbucks doesn't reuse cups, and they give you fresh plastic cups. And I have probably 6 plastic Starbucks extra large water cups that look suspiciously like this, not filled with water, in my car that needs cleaned out. Flimsy and styrofoam cups that bent and broke. Still used to be cheap. I don't care for paper straws. Do I like paper straws? I don't like the sound of it. No, it kind of makes me recoil a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have bad memories of the paper straws mushing up a little bit, or that maybe that they have a flavor that I don't want on my straw. So no, I don't like paper straws. I do. And they ask occasionally at Starbucks. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see the... Yeah, you can. Look, the hole in this. Look at that. It's nice. They'll occasionally ask me if I want a straw. I'm a decaf Bruce Willis. The irony of that for a guy that has a show about coffee. Hey, Ruth Ann, thank you so much for following the Live Creator. I feel great today. I got a great night's sleep. I was able to spend a lot of time with my 2 babies, my 2 little ones this week, which felt real nice. And I'm working on some issues I have with myself, some anger issues, and I'm angry at a couple people in this world. And, you know, the people are just being the people. And the anger is my issue. And I think that's something for all of us to remember a little bit. When you're angry at somebody else, it doesn't hurt the other person, it hurts you. And in my case, it didn't only hurt me, it also hurt the 2 little beautiful babies that we shared together. And not like hurt them, but I mean, they deserve and they need a happier, healthier dad that can love on them and be around them and be okay with them. I'm okay with them, but you know, I don't want to talk too much, but just, you know what I'm saying. Issues, anger's no good, and if you can put it down, you know, you're gonna feel better. And yeah, so let's have a little more coffee. Good morning, Robert Patrick. RJ wants me to give him a Friday dance party. I don't know about that. Going to act to behave. Yeah, Jewel, that was well said. That was well said. Jewel said, I learned not everyone is going to act or behave the way we think they should. Yeah. And we can be pissed off at them and call them jerks or whatever. And maybe in our mind they are, but it doesn't. They're going to be them, and we're going to be us. And to be upset at somebody else is just hurting us. And in my case, it wasn't, you know, I wasn't able to love on my little babies as much as I would have liked to. So, Mike, or somebody asked earlier, do you find friends stop communicating with you along life? In my case, not really. But I would say, in a buddy of mine, a guy I know in town told me a while ago that people are like grains of sand sometimes. Not everyone's meant to be there forever. And that, you know, some people are just meant to be a page in our book or maybe a chapter in our book, but they're not meant to be there for the whole book. And I always thought that every human being I met needed to be a part of my life forever. And I'm learning that's not necessarily the case. And it doesn't make them bad people or me a bad person, but some people maybe come across our paths to teach us something or to share a moment in life, but not to, you know, get a permanent seat in the front row. A season or a lifetime with people in your life. Well, we have a lot of poetic people. What's I was trying to think of the song. To everything turned. I don't even know the words. There is. I'm gonna. I can hum the song. A time for hate, a time for a time. I swear it's not too late. To every season turn. I might be screwing up the words. There is I don't know. Somebody help me. Name the song. Name the song. Somebody help me. And I know I didn't give it a very good version. But somebody's got to know what I'm talking about. There's a song that you made me think of. Made me laugh. So you don't have a dance party. But you have Jefferson Airplane? I don't know if it's Jefferson Airplane. I don't know about that. It was funny, Jefferson Airplane, it might have been. I don't think so. To every season, but who sings it? It's not Jefferson Airplane. And it's funny, because Jefferson Airplane was an old band, and then they became Jefferson Starship, and then they became Starship. And then like 20 years after they were popular and maybe playing at Woodstock, they came out with some really crappy music. And what's so weird to me is that song that came out in like the mid to late 80s that I would say was kind of crappy, to me seemed like super modern version of Jefferson Airplane. And that was 40 years ago. So if they came out with a song today, I don't know what my point is. It's not Simon and Garfunkel. I'm sorry to scold you for saying that, but it's not Simon and Garfunkel. Come on, somebody Google it. Life is revolving. And that's what makes life fun, because if it was just a path, a straight road, or a what have you, might get a little dull. Somebody named the band. To every season. Midwest Mama shared the live. I so appreciate that, Midwest Mama. I so appreciate you guys all for tuning in. I don't even know what time I got started this morning. I think it was about 6 o'clock. I went to my Starbucks. I had a nice conversation. Jamie, Google it. Sorry to yell at you, Jamie, but tell your husband to Google it. The Birds? Is it the Birds? That sounds right. That sounds right. That sounds like it could be. But even the one-hit wonders from like the 60s, really hold a special spot. What was the group? There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. Okay. All right. Nice job. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. With these 37 viewers, all with phones in their hand, we should have all the answers to the world at our fingertips. I remember I was a stockbroker for a long time, and I used to brag to my buddies that I could find any answer using the phone, in a few minutes. And I talked about this before. We once called the Stanford golf coach, and it was in the early 90s, and he was coaching a young man by the name of Tiger Woods at the time. And I think we verified that it was Tiger's birthday that day, or something about Tiger, and I think it was Tiger's birthday. But we got the Stanford golf coach on from our office. That was my brush with greatness. I mean, I've seen Tiger Woods several times. I've been his biggest fan. I mean, I don't know if his biggest fan, but he moved the meter on the golf audience, and a tournament that he played in, Good Morning Truth, was must-watch TV, and it's kind of hard for me, and we all age, and we all go through aches and pains, and his story you could find inspiration from, because it's going to sound so weird. But his struggles, his marital struggles, which, for a guy that's gone through more than his share of my own, are really none of my business at all. But because Tiger was in the public eye, good morning, Ty, he really got put out in front of a viewer audience that judged him in a way that really isn't ours to judge. But I must admit, I was disappointed because I looked at him, said, good-looking guy, great smile, hits the golf ball a mile, makes every putt, hits the best sand shot, best golfer that's ever lived, gorgeous Swedish underwear model wife. I think a beautiful baby at the time. He's really got it all going on, all the money in the world. But it shows you that no matter how good it looks on the outside, we all have our demons that we're dealing with. And a guy that looked like he was living the perfect life had his. And instead of damning him for it, we could kind of, applaud him for stepping up and, I don't know, working on himself. I'm sure he's still got his struggles. I'm sure he's still a sinner. We're all sinners, and we all have our struggles, and we all have our demons we deal with. But he had to deal with his in a very uncomfortable situation, I'm sure, that was hard for everybody. And he dealt with it about as well as you could. And kudos for him. And kudos for him still having that smile, still having that passion for the game, and moving, maybe past his golfing prime into, I don't know, being a dad and loving on his son. Ty asked if he hears water. Do you have to pee, Ty? Does this water make you pee? Well, yes, there's a couple of reasons you hear water. One, although this isn't why you hear it, is because I'm by the DuPage River. And I'm sitting across from Hotel Indigo in downtown Naperville. But I don't know if you see, there's a beautiful fountain. It's really a beautiful town, and we're filled with beautiful fountains and great places and great pictures to be taken, and just it's almost cool enough. I don't know. I've been to Napa Valley. Naperville is way cooler than downtown Napa. Sure, we don't have wines, but it's one of the prettiest little towns I've ever seen. And again, there's a beautiful fountain over there splashing down, and the water just kind of runs off down the steps, and it is really beautiful. And there's great restaurants. There's a restaurant called Vasily's, which is Mediterranean food, and there's a great sushi place, and there's Santo Cielo, which is one of the prettiest restaurants around on the top of the hotel. Great place to go for drinks or happy hour, and I don't drink anymore, but I used to, and it's just a beautiful place. I might struggle going in for a cup of water. Absorb all that view at none of the cost and no hangover. I went out for dinner the other night, and I went to a nice Italian restaurant in town called Rosebuds, and it was perfect. Went with 3 of my best friends, and good morning. Hey, how are you? How's your son? Yeah, is he back at school? He is. All right. That's Walt Burrell, realtor to the stars in Naperville. Runs one of the largest real estate teams in all of Naperville. Walt Burrell, I'm proud to call a friend. Buddy of mine just walked by. Guy I used to work with. I was a realtor for 17 years. This guy used to drive me crazy because he sold the biggest, prettiest houses in all of Naperville. And my specialty was I had a niche for these condos in 4 Lakes that were selling for about $150,000, and his average listing was about 10 times. He was selling $1.5 million homes, and it ran a big real estate team, and lives in a big town, and he's a really good guy. And it was funny, he just walked by and kind of gave me a side look, and recognized him, and it's just nice seeing an old friend. So let's have a little more coffee. Oh. So I don't know what else I have for you today. I'll tell you what, I rewatch all these videos, and I make them into shorts and reels and TikToks. I'm falling further behind. I got an endless to-do list because I want to watch these videos, and I want to get through some videos, and I want to get up to more current videos, because if you're watching my reels, you're watching where I was a week ago in life and the emotions I was feeling and the stuff I was going through. And occasionally I'll post a video about having a hard day that I did a week and a half ago. And people watch it today and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, Ken, I hope you feel better." And I go, "Well, I'm actually feeling really good." And I guess that's the hazard of doing a show where you're talking about your emotions. But anyway, I'd like to get some video work done. I'd like to post a bunch of videos. My audience continues to grow on every platform, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I talked about it with somebody the other day. It's actually growing almost percentage-wise the quickest over on Instagram, and that's the place I care the least about, and continues to grow on YouTube, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I hope my message means something. I know whatever my message is or my little talks with you means a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys for joining. Christine asked if I work today. No, today's my day off. As I mentioned earlier, I've been working at a super Target. I ran into an Irish fellow, nice guy named Dan, at Starbucks just now. He let out this huge sneeze, and he scared me, actually, and I blessed him. I mean, I didn't put holy water on him or anything like that, but I said, "God bless you," and he appreciated it. We got to talking, and he had a heavy Irish accent. And I don't know where the story's going, but maybe there's a point to it. And we got to talking, and he was just a positive guy, and an energetic guy, and an enthusiastic guy, and a guy that was in Starbucks at 5:45 this morning, the same time as me. And as I talked about earlier, maybe he's just a little pebble of sand and a little guy to draw some inspiration or a moment of entertainment with or from. But a guy that added some color to my day, and I'm looking forward to having a colorful day, a day off, a day where I get whatever I want done, and got a lot of work to do as always, searching for a new career, but making headway. Oh, I know what I want to talk about real quickly. For anybody tuning out, don't tune out totally yet. I think in life, I think we always want life to change too quickly. I quit drinking almost 2 years ago and smoking pot about 2 years ago. And I would have expected, wow, in a week I'll be on top of the world. It's almost 2 years later, I'm still not on top of the world. Good morning, TD. But at least I'm not hungover. But I applied, and I talked about it. I applied for a job with the city about 2 months ago. About 2 months ago. And it wasn't a job that I necessarily think I'm a perfect match for, but the pay was good enough, and I thought I'd go for it. And I applied for it 2 months ago. I took a test, a skills test, which took a few hours, actually. And I never heard back. And I followed up, and they go, "Oh, well, got a lot of applications. They're looking at, what have you." I thought I didn't get the job. I thought the job posting came off the website. I thought, they've hired that person and they're off and doing their career. I got an email yesterday that I did great on the test and they'll be reaching out for an interview. And this was 2 months later. 2 months later. I don't know. Who applies for a job and wants to wait a few months to hear back? No need to congratulations, but it's I appreciate that. But it was 2 months later. I just don't get it. And I was like, wow, I even forgot about you. I thought you rejected me 2 months ago. But again, I think it shows you that life doesn't always go quite as quickly as we want, or God doesn't work on our schedule. And God doesn't work on, life doesn't work, or the world doesn't work, or the universe doesn't work, or however you want to phrase it, doesn't work on our schedule, or other people don't work. We were talking about that earlier. We're mad at people because they don't act like we want them to. Well, they're not going to act like we want them to, and the world's not going to revolve the way we want it to, or this company's not necessarily going to get back to me as quick as I wanted them to. And I think lowering our expectations probably the only way to keep sane. And I'm walking a very fine line, that perfectly fine line between absolute genius and pure insanity.
So let's drink a little more coffee. It's 6:33. I've had a wonderful morning. I'm feeling good. I've got my Pop-Tart and my banana waiting back for me at Starbucks. And I'm excited about my day. And I got a great night's sleep. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to taking on my day and having a little mystery because it's my day off. So I won't be stocking shelves in aisle 9 and 10. And so nobody stopped by Target Warrenville today hoping to see me because I won't be there. But I will be at Starbucks in downtown Naperville, corner of Jefferson and Main. For any people that love me or hate me, I'll be waiting there for you for the next couple hours before I keep on going. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining. I really do appreciate you. I hope you follow my page. Hope you enjoy my content. Hope you got a great night's sleep. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. Hope you got one more sip of coffee. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.